I appreciate the detail and the scope of the proposal that was put forward by the development group, but I have real concerns about the viability of that plan going forward. And I am afraid, with the uncertainty, that there's a distinct possibility of at least portions of that plan failing and leaving behind, once again, empty buildings for years to come with no resolution in sight. The problem it just does not go away. If we granted an extension and entertained the development project, and I can almost say 100% certainty of this, that a sizable group of neighbors will appeal that decision to the Ontario Municipal Board, which said back in the 90s, by the way, directed the city to make this residential. And if I were in those neighbors' shoes, I'd probably do the same thing. And I think, being a betting man, I think they would likely win that argument. Since the official plan, the current unhealthily large inventory of commercial in the city, and the OMB's own recommendation, as I've mentioned from years past, would support their position. And we'd spend a year waiting for that to happen, or longer, since typically the OMB doesn't happen real fast. So we'd spend that time, at least with today's status quo, a bunch of derelict buildings and no plan. So by receiving and filing, we'll now await the final ruling on ownership of the building. After all, isn't that the question? Who owns it? Who's responsible for it? We need to know that first. And the attending responsibilities that go with ownership. And we want to work cooperatively with Blue Water Health on this, and we are doing so now with our legal counsel and their legal counsel. It's in place, it's happening. Once we know that information with certainty, the city and Blue Water Health will be in a position to make further decisions around demolition options. And I have to think that if demolition of that site takes place, there will be development opportunities that we don't even imagine yet.